Welcome to the November 19th, 2021 video version of the Wagner Daily. My name is Rick Petticelli. We try to do video once a week, and hopefully it offers some insight as to how we set up our charts, what time frames and indicators we use. And as you can see, we try to keep it pretty simple. We use a few moving averages, price, volume, and we also have a relative strength line here. And all we're trying to do with the moving averages is identify spots where there's tight price action, where we could get in with a very minimal amount of risk in a strong looking pattern. So that's why we like moving averages. So in tonight's video, we're going to go over a few broad market averages, and then we'll cover open positions in our model portfolio. And finally, we'll take a look and see what's out there in terms of new setups. First up is the NASDAQ Composite, which reversed off the rising 10-day EMA on Thursday after a pretty decent 1% pullback, probably enough to shake out some longs, but a positive reversal. And with the market in chop mode after stalling at 16,000, virtually anything can happen within this range. NASDAQ could break out to more, fail, pull back down to this 20, and it still wouldn't be that big of a deal. I'm sure there'd be some stop outs along the way, but overall, if the NASDAQ in a strong uptrend just pulls back 3% and then continues to set higher lows, can't really complain about that. And on the weekly chart of the NASDAQ Composite, we have inside week 1, and it looks like we're working on a second inside week this week. So also a dry up in volatility, as this looks to be a very narrow range week of trading. And over to the S&P 500, same type of deal, nice reversal off the rising 10-day MA, where the price action found support on the last pullback. Overall, just a 1.9% pullback off the highs, and anything is possible in this 2% range. But higher lows along the lows of a base is constructive price action. So that's what we'd like to see. And the weekly chart, much the same as the NASDAQ, potentially 2 weeks in a row of inside weeks, and a tight range this week. IWP is our proxy for growth. It's the Russell Mid-Cap Growth Index, and it's basically range bound. Was relatively weak on Thursday, and you can see this RS line. Let's go back to the NASDAQ Composite. You see the RS line, the NASDAQ is just below the prior highs. And if we were to go to IWP, here's the prior high in the RS line. It continues to set lower highs. So after that pretty decent surge from, I'd say, 10.4 to 10.25, growth has kind of struggled the past few weeks. IWM broke out to new highs. This is the small cap index. Broke out to new highs from a very long base. Nice move out. Failed the first touch of the 10 and pulled back into the 20 for the first time, where generally speaking, if this breakout is going to work, the price should find support at the 20-day EMA. So from here, next week we'll look for IWM to, 1, hold the 20-day EMA, and then look to break this downtrend line. All right, so on to open positions in the model portfolio. We reduced our position size by 33%. NVDA heading into earnings after the close on Wednesday. There's a solid reaction to earnings. It closed up about 4%. On volume, that was 2.5 greater than average. ABNB, we stopped out of early in the morning, and then we bought back in above 250 in the afternoon due to the reversal action in the market and in ABNB itself. pretty decent reversal. Our stop is 195. Our reentry is around 250. So we'll just have to see if it can hold up here, maybe chop around for a day or two, and then try to attack these highs. AMD will remain long a half position. We see no reason to exit until it closes below the 8-day EMA or the 10-day EMA. Right here we have the 10-day EMA up, so it's held the whole time. Let's see what the 8's done. So the 8's really nice. Been above the 8 for 26 sessions. Oh, and same thing, looking pretty good here, holding on to the 8-day MA. Roblox we entered at 105, looking pretty good, nothing to do. ZI, believe we entered closer to 73, then added around 74 or just below 75. We have a stop just below 75 right now for the add only, and another stop around 73. And EMPH, we're long from entries around 217 here. So we're up about 16%. The model portfolio did stop out of NEWR on Friday, on Thursday. And here was our first entry. The second was over the high here. So there was a sharp move on the open. There was false breakout, false trigger. It sold off immediately. We got out of about half the position at 120.88, and the other half we set a stop beneath the reversal candle low, which was triggered on the open. But the price action did bounce nicely off the 8-day MA, and still held to the low of the gap up day. So NUARA is potentially in play on Friday above Thursday's high. And the model portfolio also stopped out of S for a gain. We're along around 68. And we put a tight stop just below 71 due to the lack of follow through. S has stalled once, twice, 3, 4 times above the 74 level, which was the prior high of or the base high, I should say. As for new setups for Friday and potentially early next week, there's SCDG over the 3-day high, especially if it can hold on to the 10-day EMA at 360. They have sale if it can hold above the rising 8-day EMA and the open of the gap up day. U has stalled out twice, but looks like it could be potentially in play if the price action can hold above the rising 8-day EMA. S is in play if it can tighten up around the 10-day MA and then break this downtrend line. CFLT is tight at the 20-day EMA, sandwiched in between the 10 and 20, or I should say the 8 and 20. Could potentially be in play if it can get back above the 82 level. Mandy is interesting because of the false breakout and then pullback following earnings. Kind of formed a small cup with handle pattern right here. It could be in play on a breakout over the 2-day high. And the final chart of the night is APP, which tried to hold on to the 20-day EMA on Thursday. If it can do so, could be in play down the road, provided, of course, that it can hold above the 20-day EMA and eventually break this short-term downtrend line. All right, well, that's a wrap for tonight's video. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again next week. Have a great weekend.